you ready for something?
I don't know.
Can we get Lainey on stage, please?
Gluten-free.
Yes! It's gluten-free.
C'est sans gluten en plus. We forgot that we also have something for you that they made.
What? I made a little thing with everyone here. Why? You're amazing, so. From
It's alright. So, what was the direction Brian and Michael and everyone told you to play your scene? Because like the tension is incredible, and congratulations for that. And like, so yeah, like, did you guys decide to put it there, or did they ask you to do it? Like, why? Why so?
Elle demande justement qu'est-ce que Brian et Michael leur a demandé de faire, quelles sont les intentions de jeu qu'ils ont proposées, étant donné que les personnages ne sont pas dans le roman à ce point développé. Est-ce que c'est des parts que eux ont rajoutées ou vraiment des directions bien spécifiques vu toute la tension qu'il y a dans les scènes qu'ils jouent?
You go first this time.
I don't like you.
What was the question?
Why is there so much tension?
It's we did the crocodile bar scene twice.
Okay.
So we did it once, parfait. But Brian and Michael are very meticulous. You know, meticulous. Yeah.
Meticulous.
Yeah, meticulous. Brian, fuller et green meticulous. Très meticuleux. Très meticuleux. So they wanted to go back and change the scenery, the actual bar. They wanted more to be darker, and they wanted to change the set. But it gave us the opportunity to add a bit more tension between us, to create this kind of two alpha males kind of fighting for Mr. Wednesday's attention, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, we just wanted to ramp it up because it's the first time we've met. Shadow is this big guy, and all of a sudden he's met with a bigger guy, you know, the biggest guy around, and so ever, like huge. He's a man mountain. So we just wanted to make sure that reached the fans, that there was that kind of really strong tension.
Yeah, the reshoot. Go.
The only thing I need is what scene?
Crocodile bar.
Crocodile bar.
Dans la scène, dans le bar crocodile, là, la scène où ils se fight. Il dit en fait, la première prise, elle était juste parfaite, elle était excellente, mais comme Brian et Michael sont très méticuleux, ils ont décidé de la retourner et ils voulaient au départ changer carrément tout le plateau, etc. Et en changeant tout ça, du coup, eux c'était la première fois aussi qu'ils se rencontraient dans la série et ils voulaient Il disait, moi, au départ, c'est moi le boss, c'est moi le costaud, etc. Et je me retrouve sur un mec qui est encore plus gros. Le mec, c'est une montagne, quoi. Donc, et du coup, ils ont essayé d'élever encore plus la tension et de vous atteindre par rapport à ça.
Il a gagné parce que c'était arrivé.
I remember the fight still, and he's asking me, can I remember the fight?
Oh, come on.
You remember? No.
I remember it.
No.
Come on, you're a guy.
Do it!
Not for
Big
real.
guy like you! Do it!
So there's an episode towards the end of the season where we start to delve into Matt Sweeney's backstory, and when we were shooting that episode, there's a scene that as well is very emotional, but at the same time I also have to be speaking in 2nd century Gaelic while emoting. So that one was the hardest for me to shoot because I don't know Gaelic. And I don't even know how to sound like I know Gaelic. So I had to pretend like I knew how to sound like I knew Gaelic. And emote at the same time.
Il dit la scène la plus difficile, elle arrive à la fin de la saison. Et pareil, c'est une scène émotionnellement assez lourde et dure à faire. Il dit, on découvre un peu plus sur l'histoire de Matt Sweeney, et il dit, et surtout en plus, il fallait que je me retrouve à parler en gaélique, mais du 2e siècle. Il dit, je ne sais pas parler gaélique, et je ne sais même pas à quoi ça ressemble au niveau du son de parler gaélique. Donc c'était vraiment super difficile.
I just have a second question for you, Pablo. Are you happy to be here with us? Your first convention in Paris, just amazing. Are you happy?
I'm so happy to be here. No, really, I mean, it's my first time doing this, so Ricky and I have been talking about this for the past couple of days. This is not really my forte. It's not my comfort zone. I'm really comfortable when I'm...
Take it off!
Get off!
No, it's not my comfort zone. Talking about myself and interacting with fans. It doesn't come easily to me. I'm very comfortable when I'm working. That's what I know and that's what I do. That's what I spend most of my time doing. So this is all a new thing for me. But you guys are so wonderful and embracing and generous, and I really appreciate your love and your time. And I love Paris. So thank you. So what's not to love about getting to come to Paris and meet you guys? It's amazing. Thank you.
Donc pour répondre en fait s'il est heureux d'être là, oui, il est vraiment super heureux d'être là. Il dit après, en plus, donc c'est sa première convention, et il dit il n'est pas dans sa zone de confort. Il n'a pas l'habitude de parler de lui-même, etc., d'interagir avec les fans. Il dit en même temps, il est plus à l'aise quand il travaille, il fait que ça, et là il est bien. Il dit mais en même temps, quand on voit tout l'amour que vous donnez et tout ce que vous apportez, comment ne peut-on pas...
Hi again. If you could have any superpowers, what would it be?
Si vous pouvez avoir un super pouvoir, lequel serait-ce?
Mind control. Because I would go and take every negative, horrible person and I would change their mind and make it positive. So I could turn those frowns upside down, make sad people happy, make bad people good, and make lovely ladies like me.
You don't need mind control for that.
Done?
Le contrôle de l'esprit. Il dit, parce que comme ça, toutes les personnes avec des énergies négatives, méchantes, etc., je les tournerai en énergie positive et bonne. Les personnes tristes, je les rendrai heureuses. Je ferai en sorte que les jolies filles m'apprécient. Il dit, non mais je pense qu'il n'y a pas besoin de contrôle de l'esprit comme ça.
I would use it for evil as well, so that I had money and lots of good stuff.
It's not evil.
I would go to the bank and make them give me money, and I would.
So you could be Batman.
Because I wanted to just be Batman, basically. Yeah.
Et si j'étais du côté négatif, je le ferais pour essayer d'avoir plein d'argent, etc., aller à la banque, les forcer à abandonner, et du coup on en revient à tu veux être Batman quoi.
My superpower would be to be invisible. It's really silly and easy one, but I would love to be invisible so that I could go and watch my children when I'm not there. It's like the one thing I want to do. I really want to see them interact with each other without me around. Because every time I'm around, they're like acting for dad, you know? And I would love to see them, what they talk about and what they do when I'm not there.
Ouais, ce serait l'invisibilité. Il dit alors ça peut paraître enfin facile et machin. Il dit mais vraiment l'invisibilité parce que j'aimerais bien pouvoir de temps en temps juste aller voir mes enfants que eux ne me voient pas et voir les interactions qu'il y a entre eux, comment ils sont, parce que finalement quand je suis là ils sont toujours en train de jouer devant papa, jouer pour papa, enfin essayer de se rendre intéressant pour papa. Il dit j'aimerais vraiment voir comment ils se comportent et voilà les échanges, qu'est-ce qu'ils se disent, etc.
Because he wrote this book 15 years ago, 16 years ago, and so it's been a thing where he's watched it go through so many incarnations of possibly being made into a movie, not happening, possibly being a show at HBO, not happening, now moving on to Stars. He's seen different people attached to it, trying to adapt it. And you know, obviously he's written so much, and so much of his work has been already adapted into different things. So he's gone through this process and gone through the disappointment of seeing things happen that he didn't really love, and watching him respond to this show and has been so amazing because he seems so genuinely happy with how it's coming out and how it's like he's learning the novel anew by watching it be put into screen, which is so wonderful. I didn't talk with him before we started shooting. I only heard from him after we started shooting, and he started seeing dailies and of the stuff, and he started putting stuff on Twitter about how happy he was with the show and with the character, and so to get to see him respond that way to stuff that we were doing was just amazing, and so that's the person that you want to like what you're doing, is the person who wrote it. You know, that it's great when the fans love it, but ultimately, like if the guy who wrote the novel likes the TV show you're doing, that's the perfect stamp of approval.
Par rapport à lui, il n'a pas rencontré Neil avant de tourner, il l'a rencontré arrivé qu'après. Il dit mais voilà, imaginez quelqu'un qui a écrit son roman il y a 15 ans, il y a 16 ans, il y a des films qui auraient dû être faits, finalement ils n'ont pas été faits, ça a failli être sur HBO, finalement ça s'est pas fait. Après il y a d'autres trucs qui ont été faits, dérivés, et donc il n'est pas forcément content ou fier. Il dit, et là, il dit quand on voit comment il répond favorablement à notre travail et à ce qu'on en fait, il dit c'est juste fantastique d'avoir, il dit pour nous, qu'on soit en création ou en acteur ou en réalisateur, c'est la plus belle des récompenses quand la personne qui a écrit est content. Il l'a mis sur Twitter, il l'a mis sur les réseaux sociaux, à quel point il était ravi du travail qui était fait, enfin, avec son œuvre. Quelqu'un a un micro dans la salle ou il y a... Ah, ok.
J'aurais voulu savoir le moment le plus drôle pour eux sur le tournage.
What was the funniest moment you had on set?
Funniest? Yeah. Ian McShane plays Mr. Wednesday, and when he comes onto set, many days, not every day, but many days, he comes and he's in a good mood. When he's in a good mood, you enjoy it because you know it might not last for long. But when he's in a good mood, he comes on the set singing a song that has become one of my favorite songs.
You can't say that.
Oh, I can?
Yeah, you can. You can.
He sings a song, and you don't quite know if he's talking about you. You assume that he probably is talking about you, but he smiles when he sings it, so you just let him say it. The song goes like this, he goes, "You are a cunt. You are a cunt. Nobody likes you because you are a cunt." So I live for the days when he comes on set singing that. And now you have to sing the song. Because you have to say it in French. They didn't hear it in French. Only in English.
Donc pour Pablo, c'est quand Ian McShane qui joue Wednesday arrive, quand il est de bonne humeur, pas tout le temps, mais c'est quand il est de bonne humeur et tout, et il arrive en chantant une chanson et tout, il dit déjà tu sais jamais trop si c'est pour toi qui la chante ou pas, et c'est devenu une de ses chansons préférées, puisque il arrive en mode t'es un connard, je ne t'aime pas puisque t'es un connard.
Yes! What was it? Was it a literal translation?
No.
Ah!
Konari. It's a mix of bastard, cunt, asshole.
What is it? What?
Connard.
Connard. Winning yourself.
Voilà, and your funniest moment?
I mean, that was funny. That was funny. That's my funniest moment.
In the book, Sweeney is in 2 scenes, and so we know what's eventually going to happen to him, or at least in the book. And I guess there's freedom that they could change that, but let's assume that they're going to keep his fate the same, which means we have 2 or 3 seasons to fill in what happens before he eventually... 7 seasons to fill in what happens to him before he ends up in mort. Is that right? Mort. Right, I'll work on it. So, what do I hope happens between now and then? I hope we get to learn more about his backstory. I hope, apparently Neil has written 4,000 pages of Mad Sweeney history, aside from the book. Of filling in his backstory and his history. So, and there's been talk about either doing that one and other histories of the gods as mini-series aside from our series, or as doing it as part of our series in like subsequent things. So I just hope we fill in the blanks and get to do as much of him as possible, because I really love playing him.
Can we read the story somewhere, or is it?
Well, no. It's an email that was sent from Neil to Brian and Michael, so unless you're a hacker, you probably can't read it. But maybe eventually it'll be published in some form. I know, I hope so too.
Donc, comme il disait, il reste, dans le livre, il apparaît genre 2 fois. Donc du coup, ils ont une liberté totale par rapport à ce qu'ils vont en faire. Ils disent qu'il aimerait, pour l'évolution de son personnage, c'est de comprendre tout ce qui s'est passé. Il sait que Neil a écrit 4000 pages sur le personnage. Ils ont 5 saisons, dit 7 saisons pour avancer et pour en parler. Mais c'est vraiment ça. Lui, ce qu'il aimerait, c'est qu'on en sache un peu plus, qu'on comble tous les vides qu'il y a dans sa vie, que ce soit dans la série ou dans des dérivés, des spin-offs, si il finit par en y avoir.
Little girl?
C'est toi, hein. Fais pas genre tu regardes derrière.
Quelle est une question? Moi? Non, c'est
Moi, si vous m'autorisez, j'en ai une aussi après. Non. En fait, c'est moi qui ai le micro.
Well, hi guys. Thank you for being there. It's a question for both of you. I wonder if you could write a scene, what would you make happen?
Like fan fiction?
Yeah!
I read some fan fiction about Mad Moon. It was very interesting. I think you'll see on Monday there's something similar but with different characters. The Jin and Salim, played by the incredible Musa and Omid, sorry. Fantastic actors, and it's a really beautiful love story. I can't wait for you to see that. But what would you write in?
S'ils devaient écrire une scène chacun, qu'est-ce qu'ils écriraient? Et il dit, bah, déjà là j'ai lu des fanfictions assez étranges, un peu à la Bad Moon. Il dit d'ailleurs lundi il y a une scène un peu dans ce style-là qui va apparaître avec deux autres personnages dont j'ai pas compris les noms par contre. Bon moi je le suis. Et il dit, ouais, c'est à peu près pareil, et d'ailleurs les deux acteurs en question sont juste fantastiques. Et si on devait écrire une fanfiction, qu'est-ce que ce serait? Et là ils ont bugué.
I would probably write a scene that has to do with a triangle between Laura Moon, Shadow Moon, and Matt Sweeney, we may ultimately be leading up to this with the series anyway, but I would probably write something that has to do with the three of them finally.
That's my wife.
What are you doing? I would write a scene that would have to do with the three of them coming to head in some way. Coming to head. I mean, Jesus, keep it clean. Good Lord.
Lord Schreiber.
Maybe another fight scene? With Laura. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
well, that's coming between her and I. Yeah.
S'il devait écrire une scène, il aimerait bien avoir une scène un genre de triangle entre Shadow, Matsui et Laura, un truc qui aille vers. Mais qu'est-ce que je suis en train de faire là avec moi? Et il dit puis il y a un truc où on y aille avec les mains, un fight quoi, hein? Voilà.
I want Shadow to learn that coin trick, make lots of gold, and then goes and becomes Bruce Wayne and fights crime with all the money that he has, and so builds a suit and makes it snow, but like has lots of like weapons.
We'll wait, Ricky, we'll wait.
Okay.
Hi guys!
Hi.
Bonjour.
First, thank you for coming here, we love you.
Thank you.
And this is gonna sound so cheesy, but what's your favorite thing about each other?
That's so much.
There really is a lot to love about Ricky. Ricky is a big hunk of man.
Pablo is so huge.
But that is not my favorite thing about
That's not
him.
my favorite.
It's easy to jump to the big muscles,
Yes.
to the handsome face, to the 6, 8, 10 pack. I'm not sure what he has going on. But that's not the most amazing thing about Ricky, strangely enough. It's just the first thing you see. No, honestly, Ricky is one of the most positive, genuinely grateful and happy people that I've ever gotten to work around. And when you're working on a TV show, the vibe that is on set is set by who your number one is, who's number one on the call sheet. We say that all the time. You know, what's number one doing? What's number one like? And to have a number one like this guy sets a vibe on set that there's nobody on set that is a problem or has a hard time, because when they look at what number one's doing, they can't complain, because he comes every single day, works more hours than everybody else, and is always smiling and keeping everybody around him happy and engaged in what they're doing. And so just as a professional, I really respect and love that about him. But that thing that he has that works so well in his work life is also in him as a human being. Like, he meets the world with a smile and with a genuine love of life that is infectious and makes everybody around him better and happier every single day. And that's the thing I love the most about him. I'm gonna cry right now. Thank you. No, he's a wonderful person.
Ce qu'il aime le plus, c'est Ricky. Il dit bon, c'est vrai, ça pourrait être son visage, ça pourrait être sa musculature. C'est si 8 ou 10 tablettes de chocolat, je sais plus là. Enfin, et ça, c'est que l'apparence, c'est que ce qu'on voit. Il dit, et en fait, Ricky est la personne la plus positive. Positive, mais jusqu'à un point de contaminer tout le monde sur cette énergie. Et il dit, et ce qui est génial quand ils vont travailler, c'est que il est comme ça sur le plateau. Il a tout le temps le sourire, il est tout le temps agréable, tout le temps gentil. Et il dit, c'est très important quand on est sur un tournage que le numéro 1, comment il est. Parce que là, par exemple, à chaque fois qu'on arrive, personne déjà peut se plaindre. C'est Ricky qui fait le plus d'heures, qui travaille le plus, et il est toujours altruiste, gentil, positif, et voilà, ça en est affectueux dans le bon côté de tout ce qu'il donne. Et du coup, quand ils sont sur le plateau, il y a juste une ambiance fantastique grâce au numéro 1. Donc non, il n'y a pas que l'apparence, il y a tout ce qu'il a à l'intérieur.
What he said. No. Pretty much exactly the same. I mean, you all see he is a gorgeous, beautiful man. He pictures very well, but in the flesh, when you feel this, he is huge. And it's just like solid, just mastering. But same, you know, professionally, this is my first time working with Pablo, and he's gonna win awards for this. He's incredible. He is so into his characters to the point where fans don't recognize him from role to role because he's able to morph like a chameleon to completely different characters. And that's all credit to his incredible mind and work ethic. And seeing that, I get inspired by, you know, I've been blessed to be a part of this show because I get to work opposite people like this and watch them work. And as an actor, you like to borrow or steal. And I've been stealing from this man because I watch the choices he makes, the things he does as an actor, and it's incredible to watch this mind work and bring something off a page because you just see the magic on screen. I read the script first, and then I have what I think he's going to do, and then he takes that and blows it up and into something incredible. And that is inspirational for me, and that's what I aspire to be like as an actor. I want to be able to do something like that and watch how he, and have a career that he's had already. He's already going to do so much in the future, but already his career from The Wire and Orange is the New Black, and you know, he's doing feature films. He's got a couple of films out next year, this year? I mean, yeah. One with Eliza Taylor. Called Thumper.
Thumper, yeah.
Thumper. He's going to be in Den of Thieves with Gerard Butler. He's incredible, and I aspire to be like that. Do you want me to stop there? I'm going to carry on. Yeah. And then, personally, yeah, a lot of people in the public eye have an image that everyone sees, that you see online, and then when you meet them in real life or on the street, dickheads. It's just an act because it's just a profession. Pablo's actually a genuine, awesome, incredible guy. You know, if you don't know Pablo, this is your first experience with Pablo in this show, and obviously it's going to be your first time meeting him here. He's an incredible person. He's a beautiful father. He's a beautiful friend. He's a pleasure to have around. He too is always smiling, cracking jokes on set. And
you've seen us on Instagram. That's us just being us, just being stupid. This is us just being stupid all the time. And this is why I'm so excited to spend the next few years working alongside him, because work is tough. It's fun and it's glamorous and blah, 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 all that stuff, but it's 18 hours a day sometimes. And 5-6 days a week, 7 months. It's really intense. But Pablo makes it worth it because he makes it fun. And he makes it a joy to be around. So he's like that in real life. It's not just online. He's Pablo Schreiber, the ultimate man.